What's going on, everybody? My name is Noah,
My name's Nick.
and this is the second episode of the 416 podcast.
Today we will be talking about the NBA's trade deadline, the All-Stars that were revealed, and the teams that are racing for the bottom for that first overall pick, and then also our predictions for the end of the year trophies like the MVP, six man, etc. And then we will also be talking about our finals predictions and playoffs and where we think teams will end up.
All right, so without any more introduction, let's get right into it. So at first, we're going to be talking about some big names that are on the move. I chose KD and Zach LaVine for this graphic because I'm a firm believer that KD either by Thursday or in the offseason is making a move to the Phoenix Suns. As you can see, old school crew neck.
Yeah, it's a crew neck.
No, it's not. It's a
It's
It's a turtleneck,
It's a
yeah.
mock turtleneck.
that dude from the '90s, back in the Barkley era. But that's my prediction: is Kevin Durant going to Phoenix? What's your thoughts?
I like the thought. I did see earlier today that Woj tweeted out that the Nets are not trying to trade him right now before Thursday's deadline, but it could happen. But I could see the Suns. They probably have to package like Ayton, CP3, probably Cam Johnson, and 2 or 3 first for KD, and I'm guessing they're also gonna get rid of like Seth Curry. That'd probably be like the
Yeah.
ideal package deal, basically to build around Sir Cam Thomas that's been going off. Just dropped his third 40 piece in a row. But yeah, I would see him either going to the Suns, or I could see him staying in the East and going to like maybe like the Heat for a bunch of young guys.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I don't really see him going anywhere else.
But if you're the Nets, are you getting rid of KD and then just rebuilding, blowing it up this offseason?
See, it's very tough to blow it up right now because of how many picks they got rid of to get Kyrie.
Right. Yeah. You
And
sell
KD.
everything for that big three, and
And what does that do to you? Nothing. Most fraudulent franchise ever. Try to get some very old big three guys, and then you make the Celtics look good back when they traded for KG, Paul Pierce, Derek Williams. Like, that did nothing. You just made the Celtics the best team in the East for the next 10 years, or one of the best. And then now they're going to be doing the same thing with whoever,
sold.
basically, whoever has all their picks now. But, yeah, I guess they can tank and hopefully build off Cam Thomas, maybe. I don't really know what the Nets are going to do.
Yeah, they're fourth in the East right now. I think this is probably KD's last healthy year with the Nets. Well, not last healthy year. Last year, probably at all. So you're gonna have to probably go further in if you're the Nets. Try to play more Cam Thomas minutes. Obviously, you still got Seth Curry, Joe Harris. Like, I just don't really like the Nets. Even at a 4 seed. Now that you got rid of the threat of Kyrie, because Kyrie's obviously like a top 3 guy in the league when he plays. No Kyrie, no, you guys just have nothing. You get absolutely fleeced by the Mavs for what? Dinwiddie, a pick.
And Finney Smith, I think
Yeah.
is his last name. I don't want to say his first name.
But you really got no compensation. But now that moves me into the Mavs. What are we talking about Kyrie? Who are we hearing?
I really like that move. Like, Kyrie could have went to the Lakers, but Nets GM did say that he was trying to push him away from not going to the Lakers, basically. So they were listening to every trade talk and probably taking whatever one was the best. But I like Kyrie on the Mavs just because it gives Luka some more help. He took the Mavs to the Western Conference Finals, I think, or the semifinals last year.
Yeah,
Semis. The semis by himself
Mm-hmm.
against the Warriors, which he was not going to win. But I think now with Kyrie, whenever he throws up 40, you have a guaranteed like 25 plus with Kyrie.
Mm-hmm.
So
And now the usage rate doesn't fall so much on Luka.
yeah, that 2-guard front with those two will be very, very scary, I think. Also, with Christian Wood too, they'll be looking like a pretty scary team in the West. I would say probably by the end of the season they'll be the 2 3.
But now at this point, they're just the Nets of the West. Because you've got your incredibly offensively, generationally talented best player in Luka, which was KD, and then you got Kyrie, and then Christian Wood is just big man James Harden. He plays really no defense. He had those 3 blocks against LeBron, which people think makes him a good defender, but no. It's old man wash LeBron. He's yamming that over his head any other day of the week. I don't think Christian Wood's that great defensively, obviously. I've just been saying it. But you get that Mavs team in a playoff situation, and they're probably not going to win 4 games. I think they probably make the second round. Probably get bounced in the second round.
Well, currently, I'm looking at where they're sitting at right now in the standings. They're in 5th, 8.5 games back from Denver. They're 29 and 26. They're crappy on the road, really good at home, like mostly every team in the NBA.
Right.
But like if they sit at that 5 spot, they have to play the Clippers. Probably losing that, getting bounced with Kawhi and Paul George. But if they bump up, I would see them bumping up and the Kings falling, and then they play a 6 or 7. I don't know. There's a lot of shakeup that can happen with that entire Western Conference because the Warriors are sitting at 7. You know, they'll be going back up with Curry going back through. So I could see him making a run, but then I also could see him not making a run just because of the teams in the West. So, yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing with the West is it's like there's the Nuggets that are obviously good, and then there's really it's just very balanced compared to the East where it's top heavy with the top 4. The Heat that's like 6 or 7, but you know the Heat can make a run.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the East is stronger, but
yeah, so do I. But now moving on from the whole Kyrie talk, so Zach LaVine in a Lakers jersey. You think that gets done before Thursday?
I don't. I actually think the Lakers are going to try to go get Buddy Hield because they're pissed about Russ not living up to the deal. They could have had Buddy Hield that entire time, but they chose Russ. And now they're going to go they're going to lose a little bit, but obviously Buddy Hield's he's 30. He's still one of the best three-point shooters in the league. You'd much rather have him over Russ, I think. But I've got LaVine up there just because it makes it a little bit interesting. It's a fun topic. Obviously, you being a Bulls fan, where do you think LaVine on the Lakers fits, if at all?
Wow. I honestly see it fitting a lot just because, like, you got to give up Russ, so then you don't have such a ball-heavy person like Russ to, like, fluctuate the offense. So then you can just go back to LeBron bringing up the ball. And LaVine was first known for dunking in the NBA because of his dunk contest and what he did at UCLA. But then towards the end of his Minnesota career and going into Chicago, he was starting to create that shot. Now he's known more for his three-point shooting and creating shots as a shot creator. So I feel like if they could get rid of Ross and they can maybe get another person from Chicago to help build, but I could see LaVine going in there and making a pretty big difference, honestly, with their big 3 being LeBron, LaVine, and AD, but
I mean, it's the same thing that happens every year with the Lakers. They're like, oh my god, we're going to get Dame and Curry, and like, dude, what if Kevin Durant wants to go to the Lakers? Like, that's how those fans operate. That's the people who make those edits of Zach LaVine in a Lakers jersey, Kevin Durant in a Suns jersey. Obviously, I'm supporting it, but I don't see either of those happening right now. LaVine's definitely not going to the Lakers before the deadline. I don't think the Lakers have enough to give. Nobody wants to trade with the Lakers.
They're reaching their 2030 first round picks. Like, who wants a 2030 pick? We're still
You're selling off 6th graders.
No offense to you 6th graders watching right now, though.
Yeah, go play for the Lakers one day. Have fun. All right, next topic. All-Star voting is complete. Fan voting is finally done. What are some initial takeaways from this?
Just taking a good old gander at this list. Let's look over at the Western Conference. So the top 9 makes sense. You got LeBron first in the front court. You got
Sabonis is criminally underrated there, I think.
Yeah, but
Wiggins should not be 5th. What the
Why is Kevin Looney 10th?
Yeah, 3 Golden State. Oh my god. Yeah, this is pretty egregious. Like, this is obviously how it's gonna work. Austin Reeves at 9, but De'Aaron Fox should not be back here. Russell Westbrook should not be 6.
Russell Westbrook.
Wow, I didn't even look at this. Oh my god. Alright, let's go look at East front court. I'm cool with this. For the most part, this is more balanced, but you can obviously see the Lakers' influence with Kuzma at 7. Paulo, because he's young, I'm fine with that at 8.
Oh,
But what's
really
Clax
understand
doing?
Claxton doing
What's
that.
Clax doing?
There's so many other guys that you could put there.
Who-
Where's Brook Lopez?
Yeah. Oh my
Like,
god.
why is he not there instead of
Brook,
Claxton?
Brook Lopez is number 7 on my list.
Yeah, he's just ahead of half of these guys. And then, honestly, I'm not too mad about the guards, but being a Bulls fan, like seeing Derrick Rose on there, that's cool. Like you got all those people that like Derrick Rose, but
Yep.
what's he really doing for the Knicks? Like he doesn't need to be there.
I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Derrick Rose should never be above Darius Garland.
No, he's almost 100,000 votes.
That is
Higher.
sad.
He's 50,000, but like still.
The only other thing on this list that I'm not huge on, like, all the starters kind of worked out, except maybe Shea. I don't know if Shea's not starting right
No.
now. Maybe Harden over Jaylen Brown, but he's still probably gonna get in, right?
Yeah. My whole thing with this whole fan voting is they have like this weird like 50% fan voting, 25% the
Yeah.
players, and 25% like the league committee and all those other people. Why are you ever letting an NBA All-Star game be picked by 50% fans? Like I get it, they want to see like their best players, but
Well, it's bullshit because LeBron shouldn't be the captain every single year.
yeah. There's other people playing better than him in the West. Like I get
Jokic is off 2 MVPs and they're the 1 seed.
and he's 2 million votes
Yeah,
behind.
2 million votes ahead of him. Almost to the dot. That's crazy.
I just think fan voting should go away, and it should just be like the NFL when they do their whole Pro Bowl, even though no one plays in it. Like, still make it where the best players are the people that are going. Like,
I don't know,
I should never see Kevin Looney on this list ever. Like, I know you're not taking 20, but still.
No, yeah. I think there should still be some aspect of fan voting just because the fans like it and it's fun. Like triple voting day, like that's fun for people, that's enjoyable. But it really needs to be ultimately decided by the players themselves and by the coaches, by the GMs, by NBA insiders. But it can't be like the MVP voting.
Yeah.
It's a whole issue for a different day, but
That's true.
overall, fan voting kind of just needs to change. Got nothing else on it.
Yeah, I agree with that, basically.
Starters in the All-Star game. 19-time All-Star out of Akron, Ohio. The kid from Akron. LeBron James making his captain appearance in every year that has been available. What are we feeling about these teams? We cool with the starters?
I am. Like, Curry's going to get taken out from the West because of his leg injury, so
Right.
does that mean Kyrie takes it because he's the starter in the East?
I'm going to go to the next slide. I think, yeah, that's got to be what happens. Kyrie transfers over to the West, takes Curry's spot, and then Jaylen Brown makes his starter debut for the All-Star team, probably.
That's the best guy I see out of all the
Yeah.
East guards, honestly.
But it's kind of a shame that Shea didn't get to start.
Yeah, that dude's been killing it this year. That's for
I'd be
sure.
okay. I'd be okay with Shea starting over Curry and then Kyrie sitting bench, but you can't do that because he's already got the starting.
He's already got the starting, and if you look at, like, if we want to look at fan votes, Shea is at 2 million and Kyrie's at 4. So
Yeah.
it's probably going to go to Kyrie, would be my guess.
Mm-hmm.
But I do like seeing Luka, Jokic, and Zion's being starters. They've earned it for sure. Curry did too, but he's just hurt. And over in the East, I like Kevin Durant still, even though he was hurt.
Yeah.
Donovan Mitchell's been on a tear. That makes sense. Giannis being a captain, I'm glad he got the captain over Durant just because he's been playing a lot better.
Yeah. I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
So, do you think that the All-Star game should be reworked where it's like the... Well, actually, I've got a question. Is there one captain from the East, one captain from the West?
Yes.
Okay. Do you think they should rework it to the highest fan vote just gets to be captain? So, let's say LeBron was in the East, it would be like LeBron and Giannis. Still. But do you think they should...
I honestly think with the East and West still being somewhat balanced, they need to go back to just going East versus West.
I'm cool with East versus West.
Like the pick thing, like that made sense back when the West was just dominant.
It's so OP, yeah.
But now with teams being more fluctuates, I feel like
Well, look at
the
the
East and the West could still make a run against each other. Like I
This
don't
would,
think
be
it's
a,
a blowout.
this would be a very competitive game. What's the 7-game series of these two teams?
Are we taking out Kyrie and that stuff, or are we just keeping it how it looks right
We'll
now?
just keep it how it looks.
Keep it how it looks before the trade.
Yeah.
It's going 7.
You think it's going 7?
Yeah, because
Well, they don't have enough size. The East doesn't. You're not stopping Luka with those guards. Donovan Mitchell and Kyrie are too offensively dominated. And then you have prototype KD and KD, and then
I think it still just goes 7 just because of how much their offensive power is compared to theirs. Like theirs isn't that much of a spread ball. Like you got Curry that can shoot. Luka's still a solid 3-point shooter, but everybody else is just paint dominant. So you can just cover that and you make them win by shooting. If you really look at it.
you could. I just don't think anybody on that starting 5 is stopping Zion. I
Because
don't.
you can't put Giannis on Zion because
Yeah,
you're
Giannis-
starting Jokic.
Giannis has to guard everywhere. There's just not enough defense. West clears in 5.5, 6.
Gotcha.
All right, next. We got some All-Star snubs here. Jesus. We got Harden averaging 21.6 and 10.9 on 44.7 field goal percentage.
How is he not in?
Honestly, I think he probably will get in now
Because of the whole Kyrie stuff.
because of all the Kyrie stuff. Yeah, but another person I'd be okay with is Pascal.
I do like Pascal this year.
Wait, I thought he was averaging like 8 and 6.
Oh, that was that one video that we saw that the dude said, "Oh, I guess this player was 8, 6, and 6, and he's a forward," and he guessed Pascal.
He's
So
like, bruh. I know the Raptors aren't very good. And like, who's their best player? Is it like Van Fleet or something? Like, gotta be Pascal. Gotta be Pascal.
Pascal's just been averaging like 22 plus since they've made the NBA Finals run, and
Seriously.
dude just thinks he's averaging 8, 6, and 6 like a Draymond Green.
It's like that dude's actually never watched a basketball game.
Probably hasn't, but you know, takes are takes. We have some crappy takes, but
Never.
that one-
I've never had a bad take in my life.
and the other two, De'Aaron Fox and Jalen Brunson. Brunson's been doing good after leaving the Mavs this offseason and going to the Knicks.
What's that Knicks team doing though? What are they, like 6 seed, 7 seed?
Take a quick look. The Knicks are currently a 7 seed, 29 and 26, only a half game behind the Heat. So
I mean, yeah, it's tight at the top, but I don't know, man. I wouldn't choose Brunson just because he's not like the clear cut. I don't think he's the number 1 guy on that team. It's still the guy who actually
still
made the
Randle.
All Star.
Yeah, it's still
Wait,
Julius
is
Randle.
Julius Randle in the All Star game?
I think so.
Yeah, he is. Okay, as he should be. I'm not excited about De'Aaron Fox being snubbed. Although Sabonis is averaging a double-double, I still think Fox is their best player, and it's kind of been a process for these guys.
Yeah.
Light the beam, like they're fun. They're fun, and he deserves to be in. I would put him in over. Oh, you can't
Hot
put him
take,
in
I
over
put him over
Dame.
Dame.
You
I
would
over
put him.
Dame.
Damn.
Or Paul George.
I don't know. It's really close.
The dude is averaging 24, 6 and 4. Yeah, 24, 6 and 4, and shooting 50% from the field as a guard. How many guards shoot 50% from the field? Not that many.
Not that many. Yeah.
Just saying. and I get it. Like the Kings they're third.
Yeah, dude.
They're third in the
They're
West,
third in the
and
West,
how you
dude.
not putting more than just one guy from that team in there?
Yep,
Because
they're
it's not
underrating
just Sabonis, but still.
They're underrating the Kings, and they think that they're gonna fall off.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
This is their first good season in how long?
25 years. And they had
When they made it to the
when they had Vlade Divac.
yeah, and what's his name? The guy that called timeout for Michigan, Chris Webber.
Oh yeah, God Squad. And Darko Milicic, was that them?
I think so.
Damn.
I think they also had Jason Williams back then too.
Team
White
dirty.
chocolate.
That team's dirty. Every 20 years, the Kings just pop out with one decent team.
Yeah, that's fact for sure.
All right, next slide. Early season award predictions. We'll start with MVP. Who you got?
MVP. I really don't want to see Jokic win again, but I think he's close to averaging a triple double again.
He just started averaging a triple double.
Again. I don't think he holds on to averaging a triple double. If they stay one in the West, I could see them just giving it to him again. I honestly would rather see. He doesn't really do it on the defensive side. If you call the MVP, I can't talk, so I'm just gonna say MVP. They got to be dominant on both sides of the ball. I don't think he's that dominant as a defense. He's just a piece of lard out there in the paint. So I'd rather have, I don't know, probably. It pains me to say this because I make fun of him a lot, but I'd rather see Giannis win. Honestly, Giannis, Joel.
I think this is probably Joel's year, but I really, really don't want it to be. I think it's really all going to come down to whose team is the best seed, and if the Nuggets are the best seed, I still don't think they're going to give it to Jokic just because the last MVP to win 3 in a row was Ron. Did he win 3? I don't think he ever did.
I don't think he won 3 in a row.
Might have been Jordan, might have been Larry Bird in the late 80s, but it doesn't happen that often. And if you haven't won an MVP, if you've won those 2 MVPs and you haven't won your finals, like Giannis won his finals after he won his 2 MVPs, I don't think you can give him a third one. I'm really obviously going to say, Giannis, that's my dog, day one. I think he's probably going to pull this one out. 350 pieces in the last 6 games, 2 triple doubles. Giannis, Chris, Drew, Brooke, when they're all healthy, the Bucks are really unbeatable.
They're a very scared team. I honestly think it's just a 3-man race. You got Giannis, you got Joel, and then you got Jokic.
Which is fun. I like that 3-man race.
It's going to be a 3-man race for the next 5 years just because it's just big men that can pass the ball and shoot it and score, play defense.
The stretch 4, but he's a 5.
So, who's your pick for, we'll go to 6-man?
6-man? Oh, that's so boring, but it's got to be Jordan Clarkson. I mean, Jordan Clarkson, offensively, I don't have enough of an opinion because I don't watch enough, second-string Jazz minutes.
Yeah.
So, I'm just going to say Clarkson because I know he puts in work, but Tyler Hero puts in work. Does he come off the bench still?
I think so,
Yeah,
yes.
so Hero's goat off the bench, obviously. Bobby Portis, depends how this Bucks team plays. If the Bucks remain healthy, I could see Portis coming in off the bench enough to be that player, but I'm sure they won't stay healthy until the playoffs. So I think it's down to those 2 for me. What about you?
I would say it's probably going to go to... I'd probably have to say Clarkson as well, just because of his offense. They usually give it to someone. They give it to someone who scores. You gotta think about it.
They do.
Who won it last
Jamal
year?
Crawford.
Who won it last year? Hero?
I don't know.
I thought he did.
Maybe.
It's just always.
It's an
someone
irrelevant
scores.
award, dude.
Yeah. It's nothing too big to talk about, but
If
it's
Giannis
just gonna be someone who scores.
If Giannis can't win it, it's not cool.
Okay, now you're just a homer. All right, now most improved player, it's 100% marketing. It has to be, right?
Yeah. I would go. Who else they got?
It has to be marketing. Look at
You
he's
think so?
a first-time All-Star. I'm pretty sure.
It's either Markkinen or Shea, but I know Shea put up a lot last year too. It's got to be Markkinen or Tyrese. Markkanen's been putting in work.
Markkanen's just put in a better word just because the Jazz started out so hot.
They did. They were. Remember the Montrezl Harrell MVP race last year?
That was funny.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, but I'm cool with Markkanen. But like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if they gave it to Halliburton just because he's very similar to like a Chris Paul, at least in the stat sheet.
Yeah, just
So they love that. They really love that. Kind of a unique player at guard. That's my pick. I'm cool with Halliburton.
gotcha. Defensive player of the year. Who's that going to? Giannis.
It's gotta be Giannis, right? If it's anyone other than Giannis, I mean, it's just wrong. But I like
Smart
Bam.
again.
I like Bam. I like Evan Mobley. I like all those guys.
I think it's very tough to give it to Cigar. That's why I thought it was stupid them giving it to
That was
Marcus
so
Smart
bad.
last year.
It should have been Robert Williams. He was clearly their best defensive player. Clearly. He was probably their most valuable player too.
That is true. Yeah, I honestly think it should, like, unless it's going to be a Gary Payton, like, defensive guard, you have no reason to give it to a guard because there's multiple big men averaging more than 2 blocks a game and just playing good on defense. So
Is Miles Turner still putting in work?
I think so, yeah. He's still
Future Laker.
future Laker.
Been hearing sources.
Yeah, I would say it's probably, if Giannis doesn't win MVP, he wins Defense Player of the Year. That's my take.
I agree with that.
And then you either just give MVP to Jokic or Embiid, and you just make Giannis win Defense Player of the Year again.
All right, my final pick is Embiid MVP, Giannis DPOY, as of right now.
I think they're gonna scam and go Jokic, then Giannis at DPOY,
Weak.
then Markkanen at not six man, most improved, and then 6 man just goes to Clarkson would be my pick.
Checks out. All right, next segment. Race for the bottom heats. Oh, what are the Raptors doing down there? So, I'm sure we got this one right. Because I've been hearing Windhorse and Woj talking about it. And Windhorse hasn't missed in like 2 years. So, he was saying that the Raptors are more than likely, I know Sham said this too, but they're looking to get rid of OG. They're looking to trade Pascal
And Van Vliet. Yeah.
and they're currently the 12 seed in the East. I would be absolutely shocked if they don't blow it up by Thursday.
Where do you think they go?
I don't know where they're going to go. They're going to go anywhere that they can get the best picks possible. And for Pascal, you can probably get 2 pretty damn good firsts. For Van Vliet, not so much, but he's like low-key borderline all-star. Like, kind of.
What happens if they just did a flip with CP3?
That's so gross. That's so gross. I don't see it. I think they're going to try to invest as much in this year's draft as they possibly can because there's so much depth in this year's draft that if you have 2 picks in the first round next year, like you're getting 2 very solid contributors.
You want to know something?
I do.
The Magic could possibly have 2 picks in the top 10.
I saw
Because
that.
they have the Bulls pick.
Yeah.
Unless it drops out of 15, which if the Bulls keep playing like they are, they're sitting at 9. Right now they're sitting at like the 12th pick. So they could have 2 picks in the top 10 going off lottery.
Because the Bulls are sad in their poverty. You guys are getting rid of everybody too. It's going to be fun.
We should just get rid of Damari and Zach Levine and just hoard them.
How much is... It's hard to like discuss a player's worth when they haven't been traded in so long. Like, what's DeMar's worth to you? Sure as hell ain't Kawhi no more.
No, it's probably a first.
I think he's probably worth 2 or 3. Two firsts and a second, and like a contributor. I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like he's just gonna be that guy that's gonna stay in the league like Vince Carter for a while and just give you buckets.
Not say too much.
No, he'll just do his thing. He'll hit a couple game winners here and there because he's just has that turnaround.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say he's right around a first or 2, and then maybe 2 players. But I don't really see a lot of people trying to go after DeMar right now. But Levine,
Levine's got his worth.
Well, Levine has a lot just because he's still on the younger side.
Yeah.
Merging in like that 30, I think. But
I think Levine is so valuable because the Lakers want him. If the Lakers want you, your value goes up so much. Look at how much they paid for AD. They're still paying. They're still giving them picks. The Lakers are in the worst spot out of any team in the NBA.
yeah, they had their trades for Kyrie had to involve a 2030 first
A
round.
2030 first round pick. And they won't give up Austin Reeves?
How do you not give up Austin Reeves? No offense to Austin Reeves or anything, but
Yeah, we're sorry, Austin Reeves.
But if you're in like a would now moment, why are you not trying to team up Kyrie, AD, and LeBron? Like, who cares? You're just gonna play those guys 48 minutes a game at that point.
You've got LeBron for two more years until Bronny.
Yeah, until Bronny just takes the number 1 draft pick because
Yeah.
no matter where Bronny goes, LeBron's going because that's what he said.
Thank you, GOAT. Thank you, GOAT. Oh my God, just infract on our lives more.
Not the GOAT, sorry.
Yeah. We got the Magic. What are you saying?
I'm still mad at the Magic because they fleeced us.
For
They
Vooch?
fleeced us for Vooch. We're still giving them first round picks back-to-back years? Are you kidding me?
And now
We
they
gave
got
up 2 first rounds for a sorry ass Vooch at center. A sorry ass Vooch. The dude has 1 40-point game and barely gets above like 11 rebounds every like 3 games. Are you kidding me?
and now they've got prototype Vooch, just the next great like 6'8" guy,
And Boncaro, and then
like wing. So
yeah.
Cole Anthony's so good too. He's Dame. Cole Anthony's Dame.
Their ideal thing is if the Bulls if they somehow get rid of Levine and then they tank, then the Magic could just go like 1st pick, 5th pick, and then you get Wemby and just a crazy guard like Amen Thompson or something like
Oh
that.
my God, dude, there's some
Or Brandon
disgusting.
Miller.
There's some disgusting possibilities. Like, who do the Pacers? The Pacers have to tank this year, right? I think the Pacers have to trade their guys. They have to trade everything by the deadline.
They're sitting on that. They fluctuate that 10-12 with Indiana, Toronto, and Washington. So whoever does a better tanking job is gonna get it. I think will get a top 10 pick. But then
Sure.
whoever knows that lottery ball, they could be sitting at the 14th with that 0.1% chance like the Cavs had. And then when they went back-to-back ones, Indiana could somehow sneak inside the top 8.
Yeah.
I think top 10 you get really good talent.
Anybody inside, like, I've expanded it from like top 5 to top 7. Now I'm at like top 10 or 12. There's really, really good talent out there. Like that, it's just different from other years.
Yeah.
Pistons too. Pistons, they're getting rid of old man Bojan.
They got to. I feel like they have a nice solid core between Cade, Jaden Ivey, and they got rid of Jeremy Grant this past year.
You know,
I think they gotta go if they can somehow get Wemby.
they're banking so hard.
you're
They are
taking
banking
Wemby.
so hard on Wemby. It's insane.
And if
Who's
they
their best big? Jalen Duren.
Isaiah Stewart.
And Isaiah Stewart's just a bowling ball. He's no Wemby.
Yeah, so they're definitely trying to get Wemby.
Same thing with the Rockets. The Rockets haven't invested in a big man in so long. Their best big man is Sengun. Sen freaking Goon.
Remember when they drafted Jabari Smith at like 2nd overall last year?
What is he, a big? Not
He's
really.
supposed to be a power forward.
Look it up.
While I'm looking it up, we'll go over to the Spurs.
Dude, I love the Spurs, but they have nobody. They are going to invest so hard in the next, like, 2 years. I wouldn't be surprised to see him back in the playoffs by, like, 2025.
Jabari Smith is 6'11", so he's power forward center.
And they don't do nothing, bro. Why did they invest in that? Oh, my God, the Rockets have no future.
He's 6'11".
I thought he was shorter.
210.
I thought he was, like,
210,
6'8".
That's why. He weighs 210. He's nothing.
God.
Nothing on him.
The Lakers and the Rockets have nothing for a decade. Wow. That's sad.
Quick little update while we're talking. At the end of the first, the Thunder are up 36-34 against the Lakers. LeBron's chasing Kareem for his points tonight, and LeBron at the end of the first has 8 points,
We love you, LeBron!
and he needs to get 36 36 to tie, or 37 to beat Kareem. So, do you think he gets it done tonight?
No. Let me tell you what's gonna happen, because I've been on fire this entire night. I've been right about every single take. Just kidding. It's LeBron, 30 points tonight. Okay.
30 points tonight.
Goes against the Bucks, breaks his record. Passing the torch moment. Giannis goes off for like 45 and like 12. I know I'm homing on him, but it's hard not to.
It is hard not to, but I only see it. I only see him doing it tonight just because it's at home. You see what he rolled up in? He rolled up in all black suit, black shades.
But
He was-
LeBron's
he was
corny.
locked in.
But LeBron's
He was
corny like
locked
that.
in.
He's corny like that. He doesn't close. He's corny.
That's true. He does only have 8 points.
Yeah. So he either does it tonight, which he's not going to, or he does it against the Bucks, and it's a beautiful, beautiful moment between NBA greats.
And then another funny thing, looking at this is the Lakers don't want to trade Austin Reeves. The dude has 0 points, but you're telling me Troy Brown Jr. has 6 points and
Oh my.
Austin Reeves has none?
Dude, Reeves is untouchable. He's on the same category as like Scotty Barnes for me.
But let's go back to what you're saying about the Spurs. So you really like the Spurs, really?
No, I was joking. I only like the Spurs because they're paying the least amount of money to any other team, like to their salary. So
Pretty sure the highest paid players, Doug McDermott, on
Yeah.
their lineup. Doug
they're
McDermott.
so young. Pop knows they're gonna suck. I think 6 years from now, beautiful moment as Popovich and the Wembanyamas go and get Papa's last ring. Wembanyama holds Pop like in the Lion King, and it's beautiful.
Simba.
and he rides off into the sunset.
Is he have to like pick him off his wheelchair at that point or what? You're still like Pop standing in 6 years.
Well, he's gonna be carried. He's gonna be carried by the crowd in a beautiful show of NBA respect. I don't know. That'd be fun though.
Yeah, I don't really see anything good with the Spurs just besides Popovich at this point.
Yeah.
That's all they got going for them.
They're banking on Wemby, and then everybody wanting to play for the guys with Wemby.
Honestly, I see teams tanking it for the next like 3 years just because there's so many good prospects coming up, and then you just whatever.
They just keep getting
whatever team like we said earlier, whoever Bronny's class, you just get LeBron.
Yeah.
He's just gonna be a free agent at that time. I think that's why he purposely signed that deal with the Lakers.
But how much? No, I won't ask. I'll just say that there needs to be some sort of tampering review with LeBron when, like, Bronny is about to be drafted, I think.
Yeah, because you can't just be like, oh, if you draft Bronny, you automatically get me. But you can't do that because he'll be a free agent at that time.
Right. He's the king of tampering, king of corn. Ain't the king of my NBA. All right, next topic.
In other words, NBA Finals predictions.
Man, this season's really heating up, huh?
Not really. No. You can see the West is pretty condensed. The teams in the play-in, the Jazz sit at 10.5 games back, while at 27 and 28, while the East is at 13.5 games back at 25 and 30.
That's the only real point to note in this graphic is the disparity between how dispersed the talent is in the East versus the West. West is very balanced. I've said that before, but the East is, like I've also said before, top heavy. The Celtics have everyone. The Bucks have everyone, and they're gonna go get more. The Sixers have everyone. The Cavs have almost everyone. They will when Mobley's 25. The Nets, that's the exception. The Heat, they can compete. The Knicks, they've been to the playoffs. They're probably going to get bounced first round, but they can compete. The Hawks, the most average team in NBA history, they can compete.
Just because they're one Eastern Conference Finals.
Just because
run.
they're one Eastern Conference Finals run. You give me the 8 seed Hawks versus the Celtics. I think that's fun. Probably 6 games.
Yeah. Hawks won one or two at home.
Yep.
And the Celtics just clean sweep everywhere else. And then, yeah, I would have to agree. The East is just those top 4 teams are just gonna, in my opinion, will be just probably the semifinals matchups. I don't really see any of them getting bounced. The Heat could do something.
The Heat might bounce the Cavs. That's about it.
Yeah, just because of Jimmy Butler, because he just takes over games like we've all seen. Other than that, if we move over to the West, I really don't like Denver at 1.
No.
Memphis, too young still, I think. Fraudulent. Sacramento, too young once again. I honestly don't see any of the teams in the top 3 making it to the finals.
This could be the Mavs' year if they keep stringing it together. Their offense needs to work cohesively, and they need to actually have a defense. So I said this before too, but I wouldn't be surprised to see them go invest in defense in the rest of the trade deadline.
Yeah.
Then they can compete.
What do you think? Is there a chance the Warriors makes it back to the finals again this year?
There's a chance. The Warriors are probably going to cruise at about a 16, just because Curry's out for a month, right? So
he's back, I think, 2 weeks after All-Star break, so yeah, a month.
Curry's out for a month. He'll probably cruise around 500, and then
When he comes back, he'll
win about
13
50
straight or something stupid like that.
They'll win about 55, 56, somewhere in there. Maybe a little bit less.
And then they'll move up to like a 4 or 5, and then just beat that team in 5 to 6, and then probably beat the 1 seed, whoever it is at that point. That'd be my guess.
So Kings news. Are they a play-in team? Are they just a play-in team sneakily disguised?
They're at 30 and 23 right now. 6.5 games behind Denver.
But they're only
2.5 games behind a play-in. So, yeah, I feel like
they're basically the Jazz.
how I see them is they're like the Bulls last year. The Bulls were the 1 seed in the East right before All-Star break, and then almost fell to the play-in. They barely snuck in, I'm pretty sure, last year.
This could be the Clippers' year to make a run. It's kind of setting up nicely. T-Wolves don't have anything cohesive. Gobert is just not working, and I don't know why they thought it would.
What a trade that was.
Yeah. The Pels should be better than 28 and 27. Wouldn't be surprised to see them cruise up to like a 5 or a 6.
Oh.
I mean, the Lakers have to make a push. They have to make a push. They have nothing.
Yeah. They're going to have to do that, that's for sure. Oklahoma City could sneak in with Shea. Trailblazers could, just because Dame time, you know.
Question. If you're OKC, are you going all in on playoffs this year? Or are you going all in on the tank and hoping that you can get like a top 7, top 8?
If I was a Thunder, I would just go down. There's too many good people in this draft not to try and get top 10.
And your lineup is too prototypical to waste the potential to get a player like Wembanyama, to get a player like Scoot, to get either of the Thompson twins, to get Brandon Miller.
Yeah, like you have no reason. Like you have Giddey, he's gonna be solid.
Giddey's great.
You have Shea, he's already your build piece. You have Chet that's hurt right now, probably putting on muscle as we speak that no one knows about. I haven't seen any videos about him. I think that's
when Chet comes back,
I think they're hiding that. I honestly think they're hiding that. This dude's gonna come back. He's gonna show up in that summer league. He's gonna have like another 30 to 40 pounds on him.
Yeah,
and he's just gonna look very solid.
Yeah, I think the foot. This is probably too early to say, but I think the foot injury might be the best thing that's happened to him, simply for the fact that it's giving him the chance to go weight train just for a whole year. You go get on an NBA meal plan and you weight train. You don't have to worry about like flashing moves, scoring over 3 defenders. Like,
yeah. Just put him on that Zion weight train.
Yeah, get on the gumbo pack.
Yeah, I see him just tanking. They should.
Mm-hmm.
You already have 2 solid guards, so they're not gonna want to scoot. If there's any way they drop to 1 and then you just go power forward center of Chet and Wembanyama.
Chet, Wemby, Pokashevsky, and then Shea and Giddey, and then Lou Dort, and then you win the chip.
That's just a scary young piece for the next.
Yeah.
10 years, but if not, like, Brandon Miller would be a crazy good piece to that team, I think. You just need someone bigger that's going to do a little bit more, in my opinion. But going a little sidetrack off our finals predictions, but we just got to talk about like, the teams and what we see going on. But
in your mind's eye, what you see, no cap.
I would say there's 2 teams I see. 2 or 3 teams out of the West I could see making it to the finals. Got the Mavs. I think if everybody stays healthy with the Warriors and they put it back together, they're the second team I see. And then I want to say the Suns, but I can't.
8-1's out, too bad.
I can't. I'm going to have to go with the Clippers. I could see the Clippers. This is like the Clippers year to be in the conference Clippers. Finals, and then they finally
do it. Yeah.
Those are my 3 teams. I don't know how. What are your?
I feel pretty good about that. I think the Timberwolves. No, I'm just kidding. I like those. Those 3 are fun. I think Ja is running his mouth too damn much for the Grizzlies to be competitive. He is taking it away from basketball. He's beefing with Shannon Sharp. Are you on your...
Shannon Sharp. Dude's a football player and he's beefing with him.
Like, you're talking like you're in the streets, but you just got your own custom shoe. You're John Wall. This is not a good look for Memphis. I don't care that they're a 2 seed. Memphis isn't making it out of the second round. Sacramento's not making it out of the play-in. Phoenix, Dallas, LA, not the Lakers, and the Warriors are probably the only 4. Those 4 are probably the only... You know what? I'll say the Nuggets. Man. I think this could be the year that they make it out of the West. I wasn't even looking at them because they're so boring. Jokic is so... I mean, he's fun to watch, but for the average fan, he's so boring. This is probably the year they're fully healthy. Look what he did last year when they weren't. I'd be very surprised if the Nuggets don't at least make it to the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, I like to look at, like, the home, the away, what the records are.
Mm-hmm.
The Clippers are above 500 away. That's a pretty good sign. So are the Kings, but they're going to drop.
Yeah.
The Warriors 7-20 away. That's not good, but
they hadn't won a game away for a long time.
Yeah. So honestly, I like looking at that just because that's who you can see that's actually going to win when you need it most in a playoff series, because you need to win at least one away, at least one.
Mm-hmm.
So that just brings the Clippers out, but I could also see them losing that. So I would say my team, fully healthy, out of those 3 teams, I hate to say it, but I think the Warriors make it back out of the West.
You think it's Dubs Bucks or Dubs Celtics again? Because NBA really likes to repeat their finals.
Yeah, out of the East Side, you can basically take everybody from, you switch Brooklyn and the Heat, you take everybody top 5 and 6 down, they don't have a chance. You move the Heat up. Those are your top 5 teams. Cavs, I think they're just still too young around Donovan Mitchell to make a run. I think they make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, though. That's my take. I think they make it. I think they jump Philly. And I think they make it. They upset either, I don't know who's going to be at the top at that time, who's going to be the 2 seed. But I don't know.
Fully healthy Bucks is just, in my opinion, unbeatable.
It is a very scary team. But I don't know. I like the Celtics. I like the Bucks. Don't really like the 76ers. I just don't. I don't know why.
It's because of James Harden. And Troel. He calls himself Troel, bro. It's like if you want to be KD. LeBron's the same way.
And look at the Celtics away record. Like, that's scary. How do you win 18 games away? They haven't lost double digit games on the road yet.
It's pretty intimidating.
And then they're 20-7 at home. I don't know. I either see the Warriors or the Celtics, or the Warriors versus the Bucks.
We'll talk about it more in coming episodes as it gets closer, but I think that'll do it for now.
Alrighty. Well, thanks for tuning in to the NBA Finals predictions, the award predictions, the All-Star snubs, and the All-Star voting player pool, and our free agency. You can catch us at our socials at the 416 Pod on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. And we will be posting this on Spotify and YouTube as well, either by Wednesday the 8th or at latest that Thursday morning, the 9th. But other than that, thank you all that are listening on Spotify or watching on YouTube.
Thank you guys so much for watching. We really appreciate it. If you do have any suggestions for anything that we can change, add, different ways to approach our podcast, just let us know. We really appreciate it. And have
a good day. That was corny, but yeah. Actually, have a good day, boys and
Thanks.
girls. You know.